The bond market auction yesterday didn't go so hot. Stock markets didn't do so well. Bitcoin crushed it. Bitcoin hit all-time high after all-time high. The last all-time high was a little bit last night. It was like 100, almost 112,000. We're going to go over that. And we're looking at right now, Bitcoin is really performing like that hedge against traditional markets that it was really intended to do. And there's a lot of people saying right now that retail isn't here. It's nowhere to be found. But I'm going to show you why I don't think that's absolutely the case and what makes this cycle just a little bit different. And with that, remember, every single day in crypto is an adventure. So be sure to join along my journey with subscribing down below. I would greatly appreciate it. If you find any value whatsoever, even a hint of value, even if you don't, hit the like button. If you didn't find value, tell me why in the comments and I'll be sure to improve. And with that, let's get right into it. Yesterday, Bitcoin hit all-time highs. Now, this is I have the Fibonacci retracement on here from our previous all-time high with a swing low down here at so we're at 109,000. Swing low is around 74 and change thousand. And coming up here, it hit that 100% mark. It went all the way up to 112. Now, remember, this zone here is uncharted territory. We are in true price discovery for Bitcoin because we've never, ever been here before against the US dollar. And so this right here is that level where now it becomes a floor of support. We bounced through it, came back, bounced above it, bounced off it. There's a lot of bouncing going on, which is not terrible. And it's holding this 109,000 and change line. But next step up, I mean, look at where we came from. We were down here at the recent swing low. We went up, bounced around, shot up, bounced around, shot up, bounced around, shot up. Are we going to bounce around? Are we going to shoot up again? Or are we going to bounce around and shoot down? Well, I think this is not as likely as this. Now, past performance isn't indicative of future results. I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. Do your own research. But that all being said, look at the data that's coming out. Look at the excitement around Bitcoin. Companies are buying. I think there's like 70 or 80 companies that are buying. Institutions are buying it. You have countries creating sovereign wealth funds. You have people like Jamie Dimon saying, okay, you can buy your Bitcoin now. You have other people saying this is the time to buy. We're at the bottom floor still, even though it's at 112, 111,000. The excitement is real. Are we euphoric right now? No. We're not even in the euphoric stage somehow. There is so much excitement around Bitcoin and what it's going to do and where it's going to go. I've heard people say it's going to go to $1 million this year. I don't agree with that, but people are saying it, so there's a lot of excitement out there. That being said, where are we going to go? I believe we're going to maybe bounce around and go back up. I don't think that the case for a significant retracement is there. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, and it is a bit sketch. But that being said, this is what Bitcoin was meant to do. It's meant to be a hedge against inflation. And so let's take a look, the rest of the market. I mean, we're not really in altcoin season yet. I mean, that can be said by, if you go to just the Bitcoin dominance, we're still at like 63%. Bitcoin is sucking up the market. When Bitcoin goes up, people are going to look at buying Bitcoin. They're not looking at the fart coins and the Solanas and the Cardanos. While those have gone up, I mean, we've had a nice run up in the last day, 4 to 11%, depending on what you're talking about. Bitcoin was at 4.5%, but you had Fartcoin at 18%, Jupiter at 3.4%, Cardano 6.7%, Trump 10%. There were some good gains in the last day. I mean, these are huge gains if you were talking about stocks, but we're talking about crypto. Pengu 9.4%. Ethereum 4.6. Ethereum's been tracking with Bitcoin, just a little bit outpacing, and Algo 5.6. So you have a lot of positive things going, but we are not in altcoin season yet. If you look right here, we're still in the 60s. This is where you really get the altcoin zone, is when people start pulling back on their Bitcoin investments and buying altcoins to get a bigger return. The total market cap of crypto, we're approaching 3.45 trillion. Now remember, Bitcoin makes up 64% of that. They have the lion's share. So when Bitcoin goes up, the market cap of the entire market goes up significantly. And we're still, not off our all-time highs. We're not too far off. We're only like, what is that, like, I don't know, 5%? Yes, 6.89% off from our all-time highs on market cap. We're right within striking distance. But Bitcoin's been such a runner that the altcoins really haven't had the chance to regain the momentum that they had back in November. So where do we go from here? Well, like I said back here, we do have a real opportunity. We're bouncing off this the one Fibonacci. The 1618 though is at 131,000. There's not a lot of stops in between. We don't have any, floors of, ceilings of support. Ceilings of resistance in this zone because we haven't been here before. It's true price discovery. So if you follow the Fibonacci, if you believe in it, which nature doesn't lie, it's possible to go up. The next stop is 131,000. And that could happen pretty quickly, possibly. It's always true we could go down, that there's a case for the bears. But I'm more of a believer. I hope my emotions don't get the best of me. But I believe more in this story here. Now, look, there's a lot of talk about retail investors. A lot of talk about retail investors not being there. People will point to this on the Google Trends, not that. They'll point to this on the Google Trends and say, listen, back in, when is this? 2021, May of 2021, we peaked. Everyone wanted to know what Bitcoin was. They searched it on Google and they, ever since then, it's trailed off. We had another peak up in, what was that, November, December? Yeah, November, December time. People wanted to know what Bitcoin was. It went to all-time highs and it trails off. So we got a new all-time high without people really searching up Bitcoin, how to buy it, where is it, what is it, what do I do with it, how do I get it, all these things. But I don't agree that retail isn't back. They are back. They're just back differently. They got burned hardcore back here. They got burned hardcore. They bought Bitcoin, made some money, sold it, bought all kinds of crap that took them out of the market, got rug pulled, bought meme coins that shot up, shot down, maybe held, maybe sold around here because they didn't understand the cycles. And then they're like, I don't know if I'm coming back. And then the ETFs came out, right? The ETFs came out in, when did they come out? Was it February of last year? Was it February? I don't know. It's been about a year. And so the ETFs came out and they said, well, I can buy Bitcoin this time because it's different. Now the SEC is regulating it. And I can give my money to my brokerage that I've been working with for years. And they're going to hold this thing kind of like Bitcoin, this iBit or this Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, or ARK21 shares. And they can hold it. And that's why we've seen huge inflows to these ETFs, 607 million. 329 million, 667 million, 260, 114, 319, negative 91, 5, 30, 321, 41, 43, and etc. That's a ton of money. $43 billion worth of inflows in this amount of time. We have, if you look down here, iBit alone has $65 billion, right? They have $65 billion worth of Bitcoin. Now, people say, well, you'll see institutions are gobbling up Bitcoin. But who is really buying the Bitcoin? Yes, BlackRock is buying the Bitcoin, but they're buying it on behalf of people that buy iBit. 80% of iBit purchases are individual retail investors like you and I. And they're buying iBit and BlackRock is turning around and buying Bitcoin for them. When they sell iBit, BlackRock is going to sell Bitcoin. That's how they keep it, all right? Now, I don't know if they have to sell. I don't know if they can buy outside of that with their own money. They probably can, but they're using your and I's money, your and my money, to buy the Bitcoin. So I believe that this is the new retail investor, or a portion of it. I'm not saying that we're not going to have other retail investors ape in when they find out today or tomorrow that Bitcoin reached a new all-time high. That could very well happen. But right now, retail is here. They're just going to safe havens of the brokerages they've worked with for years that they know, like, and trust. And they're buying Bitcoin. And they're buying Ethereum. They're buying Ethereum as well. There's the Ethereum as well. Not quite to the same degree. I mean, the Ethereum inflows, 600,000, 64 million, 13 million, 22 million, 63 million. They're buying up Ethereum, and whatever ETFs are going to come out in the near future, they'll probably buy those too, because that's a safe way to get involved. That's the way that, whether you're a boomer or a millennial or a Gen Z, Y, X, whatever, that you feel safe, that your money's protected. There's no rug pulls. You don't have to remember seed phrases and have cold storage wallets and all the things that we all do to protect ourselves. They don't have to do that. They just go to their brokerage and say, I want this Bitcoin thing. And then they buy a bunch of IBIT for them and they feel good about it. And that's what's going on in my mind with retail right now. So retail, it's not that they're not here. They're just here differently. And, with that, I do believe that we are going to see eventually a drop in this Bitcoin dominance, which will lead to more of an altcoin market, and which will lead to a bigger market cap for crypto. And, the Fed probably not going to drop the rates. And they're just sitting there going, what do we do? We still have fears of inflation, which is bogus, by the way. And we still don't want to put liquidity in the market because we're fearing pushing the inflation up because of the tariffs and all these things. The Fed is a globalist society. They want to control the markets. They want to control your money. They don't want to see Trump succeed. And I'm not saying that as some conspiracy theory. It's kind of what they're saying. And with that, I got to stop worrying about the Fed and what they're going to do in the macroeconomic picture because, quite frankly, like we said in the very beginning, Bitcoin was designed for these kind of things. Bitcoin was designed when you said, oh my God, money's going to run out of control. I want to buy something that doesn't go down in value when there's inflation. I want to buy something that goes up in value and beats inflation. And that's why people are buying Bitcoin. That's why IBIT is crushing it. That's why people are running out and pushing Bitcoin to new all-time highs. So with that, that is all I got. Let me know if you found any value in this rant. And if you did, hit the like button down below. If you didn't, even better. Tell me in the comments down below why you think this was a terrible, terrible video. That's all I got. Talk to you soon.